reached to the ninth challenge of the testing challenge. The challenge is know your testing techniques. So, what you need to do in this challenge, fill the crossword puzzle below and click on the check puzzle when you are done. If the name of the technique has more than one word, exclude the spaces in between the words. Most techniques finish with the word testing. This is a hint. If some of the definition are not clear enough and you have a better one in the mind, please let me know. So this is a challenge where you need to see that if you know the testing technique names, and whenever you click on it, let's click on the first one and you get a hint like how many letters are there and what exactly this is. So this is nothing but the hint that you will be used to guess the testing technique. So the first one, testing technique that focus on identifying cause and effects during the operation of the application. So the technique name is embedded inside. It is cause and perfect. The second one, testing techniques used to assess if the product meets certain standard. So meeting a certain standard, you can, the things that comes into mind is standardization. Okay. This starts with C. So it can be compliance testing as well. So let's try if it is compliance. Perfect. It is compliance testing. Let's move to the next one. The third one. This starts with G. It says testing technique that is used when a product has as customers the whole world. So if there are customers around the world, it is around the globe. When you talk about the globe, the thing that comes in the mind is globalization testing. Let's try that. Perfect. Let's pick the next one. Testing technique whose name has something to do with furniture. When the name furniture comes, you think about chair, table. When the table comes, there is something called decision table. So we can write decision table. Perfect. The next one is testing technique that has to do with an animal that is not ape. Everyone knows it is monkey testing. Let's pick the next one. I focus mainly on checking how objects change their state during the operation of the application. It talks about state, here, the message. It is mainly focused on changing the state. Changing the state comes with state and transition. What about the next one? Testing technique concerned with all the aspects in regards to how a product is experienced by a user. So it is user experience. Let's try this. User experience. Perfect. Let's pick the next one. The testing technique that looks only at the end result and what the user see. End result and what the user see, it is nothing but user sees the GUI thing. So it can be GUI testing. Let's see. So let's pick the next one. This is 18 letters down. This gives hints. Okay. Testing technique used to evaluate is the software and hardware are in tune to provide the best performance. It talks about performance. So it should be nothing but performance testing. Perfect. Let's pick the next one. Technique concerned with the ease of use for a product. Ease of use. Use is usability. So usability testing. Remember, it is written here. Most of the technique word finish with testing. So out of the 16 digit, you need to see, guess the testing technique and it can end with testing. Okay. So usability testing. Perfect. The next one. Testing technique used to check if it works on different versions of something. When you talk about different versions, it is nothing but you are checking the compatibility of it. So we'll write compatibility testing. Whoa, that was good. The next one. Testing technique that focus on how data goes through the application and what changes are done or functions triggered. Okay. So this is something with data. Okay. On how data goes through. Goes through means how the data flow in the application. So this should be data flow testing. Let's pick the next one. Testing technique that focuses on how customer will use the product on the simplest and most successful way. We, in our case, we usually do a happy flow testing or happy scenario testing. Okay. So let's see. Here it is like a 16-digit word. We call it as happy path testing. The next one. Testing technique used to investigate the function related to thread and security, such as virus. Any testing technique with threads, very simple, security testing. The next one, okay, testing technique that focuses on how the customer will use the product with real life and credible scenario. It talks about scenario. It is very simple. It is scenario testing. Let's pick the next one. My purpose is to highlight the testing of the valid and invalid limits. Remember, we did boundary testing, correct? So this is nothing but perfect. Let's pick the next one. So testing technique that uses the hypothesis that most user appear from the combination of two conditions. So combinations, when you talk about combinations, there is a website called Pairwise, and where you do all the combinations and you test it. So here you can say all pair testing. You usually call this as pairwise testing. Here it is all pair testing. The best testing technique because it splits input and splits into manageable category. So this is the same thing that we did in the first testing challenge. That was nothing but domain testing. Perfect. Now the next one. We are closer to finish this. My purpose is to check if the application can function on different platforms. Checking on different platforms, it works on this, it works on this. Something that comes into my mind is something called Docker. Is your application portable to run anywhere? So portability testing. Perfect. Now the last one. Testing technique whose names derives either from testing pipeline or form testing electronic circuit. I am from an electronics background, and when it comes to testing an electronic circuit, usually that comes into mind as the smoke test. So it is nothing but smoke testing. Check puzzle. Whoa, we have done that. So thank you for watching this video and keep watching, keep learning. Thank you. Bye bye.